to do a commentary on us because it's baseball season, folks. Season starts tomorrow. Go ahead, Alex.
It's going to rain this week, and it's going to be cold, which must mean that baseball is back and the Red Sox are opening up. The Red Sox reside in baseball's toughest division, the American League East. 3 teams from the East will win 90-plus games this season. But it will be the Red Sox who come out on top and win the division, with the Tampa Bay Rays, the defending AL champions, taking the wild card. Now, I know what you're thinking. I think there's going to be a collapse in New York. There won't be. The Yankees will have a good season in their new stadium. But do the Yankees have enough depth to withstand injury? With A-Rod opting not to have surgery, when he returns in May, he may still not be fully healthy. So with A-Rod, Jorge Posada, Hideki Matsui, Johnny Damon's aches and pains, and the odd man out between Nick Swisher and Xavier Nady, manager Joe Girardi will likely have 5 roaming DHs on any given night. And what if closer Mariano... It's going to rain this week, and it's going to be cold, which must mean that baseball is back and the Red Sox are opening up. The Red Sox reside in baseball's toughest division, the American League East. 3 teams from the East will win 90-plus games this season. But it will be the Red Sox who come out on top and win the division, with the Tampa Bay Rays, the defending AL champions, taking the wild card. Now, I know what you're thinking. I think there's going to be a collapse in New York. There won't be. The Yankees will have a good season in their new stadium. But do the Yankees have enough depth to withstand injury? With A-Rod opting not to have surgery, when he returns in May, he may still not be fully healthy. So with A-Rod, Jorge Posada, Hideki Matsui, Johnny Damon's aches and pains, and the odd man out between Nick Swisher and Xavier Nady, manager Joe Girardi will likely have 5 roaming DHs on any given night. And what if closer Mariano Rivera goes down? With Jabba Chamberlain in the rotation, who's the closer? Brian Bruni? No, that's not very good. The Yankees are good. They are. They're quite talented. But at this point, their organization doesn't have enough depth to beat the Sox and the Rays. The Rays, who, by the way, only improved themselves this offseason by signing Pat Burrell. The rest of the American League, outside of the East, is weak, quite weak. As a matter of fact, there won't be a 90-win team outside of the AL East. The Angels' pitching, due to injuries, will initially be in disarray. And their offense, which was 10th in the American League last year, got worse this offseason by losing Mark Teixeira and replacing him with Bobby Abreu. And the rest of the AL West is weak, though. So thus, I think the Angels will play in October. The A's' pitching is too inexperienced, and Billy Beane will sell off pieces in July, sliding them back. The Indians have the highest ceiling in the American League Central, which is why they'll take the division. But it's a wide-open division, and all teams could finish first or finish last. Seriously, you can make an argument for anybody. The power of the East carries over from the American League to the National League, where both the Mets and Phillies will make the playoffs. The defending World Series champion Phillies will slightly regress, as most defending champions do, and with the Mets drastically improving their biggest weakness, the bullpen, the Mets will take the division. The Cubs will win the mediocre NL Central, but how deep will they go in October? That all depends on Carlos Zambrano and whether he's ready to become a true ace. And the Cincinnati Reds are definitely on the rise, but there aren't enough complementary pieces for them to make a true run yet. Same goes for the Florida Marlins, though the Fish will be very tough to play. And Hanley Ramirez, MVP candidate, certainly. And the Dodgers, with Manny, will win the West. But the D-backs, if the young offense cuts down on strikeouts, will certainly challenge them. And the Giants, with that pitching staff, will be able to win plenty of 2-1 games. Problem is, any score higher, they won't be able to win. Benji Molina is their cleanup hitter. Remember that. Now, due to a failing economy, the trade market will open up sooner than usual. Early candidates to sell everything: the Nationals, Padres, Blue Jays, Brewers, and those Detroit Tigers. So look for teams like the Red Sox to capitalize on this and drastically improve themselves throughout the season. For the Sox, they'll look to upgrade their bench and offensive depth. But folks, I have the Red Sox winning the World Series, defeating the New York Mets. It's a rematch in 1986. And the reason why I have the Sox winning is this pitching staff is just too good and too deep to deny. So as much as things will change this year in baseball, the power has shifted. all the way back to the Eastern Seaboard. The National League has become the deeper and better league, and some mid-market teams that will no longer be able to lock up guys to long-term deals or trade for that missing piece. Instead, they'll be looking to trade off pieces. So, with all those different things, some things will remain the same and do remain the same. What remains the same? Pitching wins, which is why the Red Sox will raise their third championship banner in 6 seasons. I'm Alex Reamer for YSA Sports.
Thank you, Alex. Again, I'm Andrew Ramsey with Greg Cantor and Nick Heiler in the Back Talk studio. And we'll continue with what Alex very briefly touched upon, the MLB. And we'll preview this year's season. Major League Baseball kicks off tomorrow, actually tonight, rather.
Tonight, in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
That's when it starts.
In Philadelphia against the Braves. I got Brian McCann going tonight for my fantasy team. Let's get it. Oh!
All right, so, Nick, we now know about your fantasy team, but who do you have in real life? Let's just start with predictions. Let's start with the AL East.
Red Sox, all the way. I think it's going to be a three-way race between the Rays, Yankees, and Red Sox. Like, nobody else has said that already, though, right? But I think the Red Sox have the young depth. They have the good pitching staff. And if say, Veritek can come back and have a good year, Lowell can bounce back and have a good year, and Ortiz can bounce back and have a good year, you got maybe 30, like maybe 70 home runs in between all those
exactly.
guys.
I'd say with a lot of the veterans returning for the Red Sox, if they can increase their output, like you said, as well as the pitching staff really coming into its own, continuing its dominance, I'd say the Rays are an upstart team that's going to give us some trouble, but the Red Sox will take home the AL East. Ooh.
I'm going to say the New York Yankees win the division,
that's
win the AL, and win the World Series.
Ooh.
Here's why.
Ooh.
They have the best 5-man rotation in starting baseball now, with CeCe Sabathia, A.J. Burnett, Andy Pettit, Shin-Ming Wong, and Jabba Chamberlain at the back end of the rotation. You know, not bad to have a guy who throws 100 miles an hour at the back end of your rotation. Also, by adding Mark Teixeira, he makes everybody on that lineup better. We've seen it in Texas. We've seen it in Atlanta. We've seen it in Los Angeles. He makes everyone around him better. And you said, Nick, that the Red Sox may have veterans returning, but you can't count on those veterans to produce like they have in the past because Ortiz was injured, Veritek was injured. A lot of those key guys for the Red Sox have been injured, and you can't expect guys to come back that well after an injury.
You can't expect that all those free agents. The Yankees have the most to prove in the entire baseball. They have the most to prove. There's no guarantees about CeCe Sabathia. AJ Burnett's
I never said they didn't have the most to
Burnett's
prove.
never been healthy for an entire year. He's still a below 500 pitcher. And you know,
Not a below 500 pitcher.
Jabba Chamberlain's just getting into a starting rotation. So yeah, maybe a number 5 guy, but there's no guarantees about him either. Also, there's no guarantees about. What about third base? Alex Rodriguez being hurt.
You got Cody Ransom. Ransom.
Cody Ransom. Yeah, he's definitely A-Rod, though. Cody Ransom's definitely as good as A-Rod.
Definitely A-Rod. I'd say the Yankees bring in a lot of big names every year, and you have to go out there and prove it. And last year, they came out, didn't even win the division, didn't make the wild card, didn't make the playoffs. The Yankees are the Yankees. The Yankees are the Yankees every year, but until they take the field, no one's proved anything.
Yeah, and also, I think if you want to talk about pitching, the Red Sox have 4 possible Cy Young candidates. Josh Beckett, John Lester, Daisuke Matsuzaka, and maybe Papelbon. So right there. Papelbon. No.
A closer is...
What about Eric Gagne? Oh, yeah, shut you up.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you can't dish out what you can't take back, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we'll get out of the AL East so I can stop getting pelleted, and we'll move to the AL Central. In this division, ready? Okay, I have the White Sox.
What?
Ooh, that's an interesting pick. Defend yourself.
Well, I don't know. I have the Royals. Go Royals.
Go Royals. I really don't know who will win the AL West. Or
AL Central.
AL Central.
All right.
Say the Indians to keep the argument's sake going.
All right, I'll say the Indians.
All right, just keep going. AL West down the line.
I'd say Royals in last, followed by...
Royals are in the Central.
Central.
Ooh, I have no idea then.
Okay, Nick.
And I want to say the Rangers because I love Hamilton and I love Kinsler, but I think that maybe if the Angels can cheer up their pitching injuries, maybe by the second month, I think they have a good shot because the Oakland A's probably will go through a fire sale on the trade deadline.
All right, I'm going A's, and we're running out of time, so you'll find out our NL picks later, I guess. So the senior circuit loses out this time.
Go Angels.
We move to the NBA. The Boston Celtics, Kevin Garnett is out again. Greg, start us off.
I don't know. I'd say Kevin Garnett, what really the biggest question mark is, will he be able to bring it come playoff time? Obviously, he's a proven and respected athlete,